Today's class is just going to be more on the restorative end, so if you're a little sore, tired, you just need to do something and move, this will be a great class. We're going to start in child's pose. So when you're ready, just come, have your toes together, and then your knees as wide as feels comfortable, and then first sit your hips back by your butt, and then walk your hands all the way forward, and then just let your arms and your chest sort of melt towards the ground. And then just let your forehead come to rest on the floor. And take a nice big inhale, really feel your ribs expand wide in all directions, even up towards the ceiling. And then on your exhale, kind of melt a little bit more towards the floor. And then again, a nice big inhale. And exhale, melt down a little bit more towards the floor. And then take an inhale so big that the air goes all the way down. It opens your ribs, it goes through your stomach, almost like it's going to come out all the way down towards your toes. And then take a nice big exhale, and again, last time, melt all the way down towards the floor. And then from here, you're just going to bring your forearms underneath your shoulders, staying in this child's pose position with your low back. And you're just going to think about rounding your spine up towards the ceiling, press the forearms into the floor, stretch the armpits open, and then think about pulling your elbows towards your knees as you lengthen your spine. Again, in the same child's pose position. So press your arms into the floor as you round your spine. And then thinking about wrinkling your mat in between your elbows and your knees as you come into a little bit of extension. Or maybe it's just a flat back but feels like extension. All good. And then 2 more times, round your spine up towards the ceiling. And then again, pull the mat. Think about wrinkling it open through the collarbone. And then find a nice neutral spine. And then come up onto your hands and knees. Just bring your shins so that they are parallel. And then from here, take a nice big inhale and really find that round of your spine. Maybe you have a little bit of mobility in your mid-back. And then find that articulation and a little arch. I'm going to get around your spine up towards the ceiling. And arch. Think about engaging those armpits, pulling the heels of your hands back towards your knees. And again, round up. And uncurl. And then pause in a nice neutral pelvis here. So with your spine nice and long, think about reaching the crown of your head away from you. Tailbone reaches back behind you, and then think like you're trying to wag your tail. So you're going to send your right hip bone up towards your right shoulder and lengthen that left side. And then reach back towards the center, and then bring your hips over to the other side. So you're staying in a neutral pelvis in terms of like extension, but you're just hiking that right hip up, a little side bend laterally towards that right side, and then back to the center and over to the left. And center, 2 more each side. Last one to the left. So this time as you go to the right, hike that right hip and look over your right shoulder. Really exaggerate that feature. And then come back to the center, and last time over to the left, and think about exaggerating your feature. And then come to the center. Tuck the toes under and sit back onto your heels. Getting a nice stretch through the feet. Really press the hands into the floor. And then come back forward, untouch the toes. And you're going to let your sternum slide towards the ground, your shoulder blades toward your spine, and then press the floor away as you lift up. And then again, let the shoulder blades slide down towards one another, and then press them away from each other as the spine lifts. Head stays nice and neutral, reaching away from you for 4, 3, 2, and last one. Good. And then from here, extend your right leg back, your left left leg or left arm rather in front of you, and just float them up and hold here for 10, 9, keeping your hips nice and square, for 4, 3, 2, last one, bend your knee and elbow underneath you. The knee and elbow don't need to reach, and then extend them nice and long, keeping your spine neutral to start. And then again, bend it, and reach long to extend. Pause and extend, and then now you're going to round your spine as you bring your knee and elbow underneath you, and extend long and neutral. Again, round underneath you, really pressing down to that left leg and right arm. 2 more. And last one. And then bring your arm underneath you, and then your knee underneath you. Switching sides. So, left leg, right arm, keeping your thumb reaching up towards the ceiling will give you a little bit more space through your shoulder. Okay, so holding here, take a nice big inhale, and then exhale. Keep breathing, and now your ribs expanding wide from one side to the other. For 3, 2, 1, and then staying neutral, bend your knee and elbow underneath you, and then extend. 2 more like this. Last one. Pause with your arm and leg long, and then round your spine, bring your knee with you, and then extend. Around. And extend. For 3, 2, and last one. And then hold here, bring your hand down, and bring your leg down, and then you're going to come onto your back. Sorry. Sorry. Laying all the way down on your back. Have your feet planted on the floor. And make sure your head is all the way flat on the floor. Bring your hands up over your shoulders. And from here, just think about reaching your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Rotate your palms to face you. And then let your shoulder blades drop down towards the ground. And then again, reach the fingertips up and let them drop back down. 2 more. And last one. From here, let your arms fall overhead. You can either lead with the pinkies or rotate the palms to face away from you, your choice. And then resist to bring them back up. Really feel that connection in the front of your abdominals with the hips, so that your ribs are not popping. 4 more. 3, 2, and last one. You can pause with your arms right over your shoulders. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders, and press down through the arms as you lift. Ribs slide down towards your hips, and then slowly feel yourself all the way back down. Let the arms come slightly back overhead, and then again press through the arms like you're moving through elastic, and then curl the head, neck, and shoulders up, and then lowering all the way down. 5 more like this, going nice and slow. Pausing at the top, and then really feeling your spine peel all the way back down. Hips stay nice and still. 2 more. And last one, this next time we're going to stay all the way up. So press down and hold. First check in, let your shoulders relax, have a little bit of energy through the arms, and then just make sure that your chin is not pressed against your chest. Give a little bit of space here. You're going to lift your arms up like they're coming towards your knees, and then press down. And again, lift up and press down. Shake your head yes and no. Just check that you don't have a ton of tension here. Think about someone gently pulling your ponytail back as you slowly lift and lower through the arms for 4, 3, 2, and last one. Lengthen the arms and lower all the way back down. From here, grab onto the right side of your rib cage as your right arm goes overhead. So left hand to the ribs. Let that right arm relax overhead. And then just notice how your back pulls off, what your ribs want to do compared to the left side. And then just take a big inhale, breathing into the ribs on that right side. And then exhale. You can play with where your hand is on your rib, but we're going to take about 4 more breaths total. And so the purpose of bringing this arm overhead is it makes it really hard to breathe into your chest. If your arm is up overhead like this, it allows you to a little bit more easily access breathing into that rib cage and finding a deeper, expansive breath and not just a shallow one. Relax that arm all the way and then bring it down by your side. And then bring your left arm down and just take a second. Check in on your shoulder blade, your shoulder itself, your back ribs, how it feels on the mat. Even check in on your ribs. Look at them. Maybe your left rib is flared and your right is not. That's great. We'll fix the left side now. So let that left hand come overhead, right hand to the left side of your ribs. And again, a total of 5 or so breaths going at your own pace here. Really visualize filling up that hand with your breath. And if you have a spot that's super easy to breathe into, maybe you want to take one breath there, but you find a spot that's super difficult, pause there and take a few breaths into that same spot. You can go all the way up and almost. Wherever you feel safe. Last breath. Good. And then bring both arms down by your sides. And bring your right leg up to the tabletop. And then let your left leg come underneath it. From here, let your hips be nice and heavy. If you can have your knees right over your hips, cool. And if you need to bring them in a little to let your abdominals have that good support, stay here. So from here, you're going to bring your hands onto your thighs, and you're just going to let your right side lower away from you, and then resist to bring it back in. Gentle press into that right leg. Staying on the right side, thinking about moving from the thigh. Left leg is gently pressing into the right hand. Thinking about moving nice and slowly. Really how that finger just rotates in the hip socket. Your foot does not need to reach the ground. 2 more. Last one, using your breath. Pause at the top. Gentle pressure on that right side. Let your left leg lower. And reach back up. If you find that your hip flexor just wants to take over, your abdominals aren't doing much from this press, you're just going to bring your right leg by your side. Relax through the chest. 3 more. 2. Last one. Good. Hold here. Press into both thighs. And then you're going to flow your arms up. Curl the head, neck, and shoulders up and bring your knees into your chest into a little ball here. Keep your shoulder blades off the mat. You're just going to extend your right leg. And you're going to lower it down towards the floor. Get a nice stretch. Lengthen through the heel or the toe and float that leg up. And lower it back down. Keeping your hips nice and square here. Lift and lower. Really, again, focusing on that length through the front and back of your leg. Shoulders are relaxed. 2 more. Last one. And then drag the heel back in, bring it in towards your chest, and then lower your head all the way down. Gently rock back and forth from one side to the other. And then curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Shoulder blades off the mat. If you can, extend that left leg, lowering it all the way down. Right leg stays in towards your chest. Pause here, take a stretch, and then float that leg up, and then lower it back down. If you need to bring a hand behind your head, you can always do that with that left hand, or the right, whichever is preferable. And down, 3 more. 2. And last one. And then bend that knee all the way in, and then bring your knees wide towards your shoulders as you lay all the way back. If it's comfortable for you to grab onto your feet for a happy baby, go for it. And if it's not, grab behind your thighs. And then either way, whether you're holding onto your feet or not, think about reaching your feet up in opposition of your tailbone. Keeping those thighs close to your body and getting a little stretch to the backs of your legs. And then bring your knees all the way together. And bring your arms out to either goalpost arms or all the way out. I'm going to go goalpost into space. And you're just going to let your legs fall over to the right, but your shoulders stay on the floor, and then back to the center and over to the left. Again, shoulders stay on the floor. So you're really just getting some core work, but also kind of massaging your sacrum here. This should feel generally nice. Always bring your knees closer in towards your chest. I'm going to do 2 more times to each side. Once more to the right and to the left. And then pause here in the center, and then lower your legs all the way down towards the floor. And then separate your feet side to side. You can keep your arms where they're at, or you can bring them by your side, your choice. But either way, walk your feet in so that they are nice and relatively close to you. And then from here, just going to tuck that tailbone under, bring the hips up towards the ribs, and press the low back into the floor. And then release. And then again, find that pelvic tilt. Hips stay on the ground, you're just finding that engagement. And release. And 2 more like this, and then we're going to curl all the way up. Pause here with that pelvic tilt. And then press your feet through the floor and heel yourself all the way up into the bridge. Shoulder blades stay on the ground, and then you're going to start at your sternum and really, really think about melting down. So increase the tuck of your tailbone as you lower all the way down to the floor, and then release it. You can change your arm positioning if you like, and low, back, and then heel yourself all the way out. Think that someone is pulling your knees away from you, and then you heel yourself all the way back down. One more time, heel yourself all the way back up, and then we're going to pause here. You're going to bring your arms straight up towards the ceiling, and then you're just going to let them float open to a T, and then resist to bring them back in. If at any point this is too much on your lower body, you're tired, you're like, I've had enough of this, just either drop your hips all the way or bring them just an inch off the ground to a hover. Either way, think about gently squeezing an imaginary block or ball in between those inner thighs. You have a gentle lift of the pelvic floor. The chest is wide. You're thinking about wrapping the shoulder blades around, keeping your chest broad as you bring the arms in. And then like you're moving through molasses, so you're not just sort of flailing your arms. It's like a bit of challenge to it, not just from the stability, but also because arms are heavy. And then you're going to pause at the top, and then bend your elbows, bring your upper arm towards the ground, and then you're just going to externally rotate with those arms, or with the hands rather, on that upper arm, and then bring them back to the center. And then think about externally rotate, getting that nice stretch to the shoulder, and then back up. So think upper arm rotates with the shoulder socket. Lower body stays still. 2 more. And last one. Pause here, and then heel yourself all the way down. Okay. From here, roll over onto your right side. And you are going to lay all the way down on your side and bring your knees in line with your hips, and so you're in a nice 90-degree angle here. Have your right hand kind of cradling the back of your head, and then your left hand is going to also come behind your head. So your elbows are stacked one on top of each other, your hips are stacked. You're in like as though you were in a chair with very good posture. That's sort of what you're sitting in, just on your side. And then you're just going to peel yourself open. And then gently bring yourself back. Trying to keep those knees stacked one on top of the other. If it's a helpful thought, think about reaching your kneecap forward away from your hip ever so slightly as you reach your tailbone down and back slightly behind you. That will help keep your knees nice and still. 2 more like this. And last one. Pause, open here, and just take a few breaths. Maybe you can deepen your rotation a little, but don't try to force it. One or 2 more. Last one. And then come all the way back forward. And come up onto your right forearm now. From here, you're going to find a nice supported position. And then you're just going to let your shoulders sink towards your ear and let your body lower down towards the floor. You can have a fist, you can have your palm up, palm down, whatever you choose, but you're going to press away from the floor and lift. And then you're going to let yourself start to sink down and then press away, lift, find that connection, armpit, shoulder, side. And 3 more, just let yourself sink down gently, press up, down, and up. Last one, pause here. You can have your hand on your hip in front of you, behind your head, whatever works. You're going to extend your left leg long. And you're just going to sweep it forward. Think about reaching your tailbone down. So you get that nice stretch to the back of your leg. And then you're going to sweep it back behind you, keeping that front of the hip open. And then again, sweep it back. You bring a hand to your low back, which can help give you a little feedback whether or not you're rounding and arching your back. You want to stay neutral here. Head forward. And back. 2 more. And last one. You lower that leg at that back diagonal and reach your right arm, top arm, long and rotate. Find a stretch maybe underneath that shoulder blade on that right side. Left side rather, and then pull your knee and elbow in, opening to the front, and then reach back, let your leg come down to the floor, take a stretch, and then pull it in, and then twist and rotate, and back in, 6 more, lengthen and rotate, 5, 4, 3, and last one. Pause here, extend just the arm and the leg, but don't let them touch the ground, and pull it in for 8, 7, press up to that bottom arm, you're nice and supported to the right side, 3, 2, and last one. Good, lower all the way down, and then sit all the way up and tuck your right ankle behind your left ankle, and then you're just going to grab onto that what is this, your bent leg, the top bent leg, and just round forward. Try to let that sitting bone on that left side come towards the ground if you can, and just round forward. Take a nice breath in, really breathe into your back, and then plant your right hand, reach your left hand long, and then just come up into a nice side bend, stretching through that left hip, and then back down, 3 more. And down 2, really keeping that shoulder away from your ear. Last one. Good, come all the way down. Stack your knees or pull them just away from one another and side bend up and over towards the left. And we will come to that on the other side. So to start, laying all the way down, left hand underneath your head, knees at 90, remember, think that reach forward with the top knee, hand behind your head, you're just going to rotate open. Side is non-existent in rotation, and then come forward. So take a nice big inhale, think about breathing into your ribs, exhale. About 4 more. You can go at your own pace here. If you want to just do 1 and then stay, it's obviously fine. Your choice. We're going to do 2 more together and then stop on that next one. So not this one, but 1 more. And then pause here with your body rotated open towards the ceiling or sky. Take a nice big inhale. Feel that right shoulder relax away from your ear. Time to release that tension. Look at that. And then come all the way forward and press yourself up. So here, left shoulder over your left elbow. Make sure that that arm isn't sliding away from you. You want to pull in underneath. And then we're just going to do that single arm scapula flex. So let your shoulders come in and then press out. So slide in towards the spine, press it. For 4, 3, 2, and last one. Press and lift. Lift your top leg up, press it long underneath you. Again, really lift it through that left side. Sweep the leg forward, getting a nice stretch in the hamstring as it comes forward, and then sweep it back. Find that extension through the hip, but not the back, and then bring it forward. And back. And forward. And back. 4 more. Moving nice and slowly, really feeling like the glide of how your bones are supposed to move in the joints. It's amazing that just focusing on that can make you feel better, even if you did the second, or the same exercise rather, with just being like, I'm gonna move, but with no thought. Reach that leg back behind you, pause when it's at the diagonal, check in on your low back, and then reach your right arm forward. Really thinking about reaching and rotating the chest down towards the ground, and then reach, or rather, bend towards the center, and then reach and rotate, lower that left leg down. Letting that leg come down towards the ground will let you to take a second here and really release into this stretch. If only for a second. Currently filled with regret forgetting to put the sunscreen on. Last one, pause here. Reach overhead. And then bend it into a 8. From the floor with that bottom arm. 2. And last one. Plant that foot down. Sit all the way up. Sweep your right ankle behind. And then if you can, get both hips on the ground and then round forward over this right leg. Take a few seconds here, breathing into your back. Good. And then plant your left hand. And then pull your feet in a little closer towards your butt if you need to reach long with that right arm, and then press. No, leaving the bottom leg down. We're not doing full side lunge. I got ahead of myself. And then lower the hips all the way down. So left knee stays on the ground. Press. And open for that nice side bend. 2. down. Have your knees off to the right, and then side bend up and over to the right. Good, lower that arm down. And we're gonna come to we're gonna come to our feet, but we're gonna stay nice and low on our feet. We're gonna come into two different little squats here. And the first one, you're gonna have your legs nice and wide. So if you wanna stand up, have your feet nice and wide, and then you're just gonna come down as low as you can, comfortably, but with still sort of, a little bit of a straight back. If you need to hold on to something in front of you, you're more than welcome to. You can also put a block or a pillow or a book or something underneath you to give you a little bit more height. Either way, you're gonna press your knees open. If you wanna leverage, have like a little prayer position with your hands to give you some additional leverage on your knees, go for it. And you're just gonna gently rock back and forth from one side to the other, thinking about keeping that chest nice and lifted. And then from here, you're gonna send your left arm down towards the floor, almost like you're reaching away from you. And then you're gonna reach your right arm up. If this is too much, you can bring your hand behind your head. And then you're just gonna bring your right arm down. And then reach with that left arm. One or two more times to each side, going at your own pace. Follow your thumb or elbow with your gaze. This is a great stretch, obviously, for the hips, but also a nice place to release your pelvic floor. If you have any tightness, also your back. Last one to the right. To the left. And come back to the center. And then you're gonna come and bring your legs as close together in this squat with your feet fully planted on the ground as you can. So, if you have something in front of you and you want to hold on and round forward like this, or just have your arms out in front of you, if you can't bring them toward your legs, that's totally fine. Just find something to hold on to. And then you're going to take a nice big inhale, and you're just going to try to relax as best you can in this position. Breathing into your back ribs as though they are wings on your back, and you're trying to sort of flutter them open. More. Your heels are lifted, you're still getting a great stretch in the back of your ankles. Last one. And then come all the way down onto your butt. Reach your legs out in front of you. And if you need to have your legs bent in order to sit up nice and tall, by all means, do that. You're gonna have your arms straight in front of you. And you're gonna think that you're sitting up tall against a wall, and then just gonna nod your head. And then round forward, peel yourself off that wall everywhere except the low back. And then you're gonna peel yourself back up and stack your spine against that imaginary wall. You wanna sit against the wall and do this? Go for it. And then round forward. And stack your spine back up. Two more. And up. Last one. And then from here, bring your legs all the way together, and you can have them bent in front of you. And you're just gonna round halfway back. Bring your hands then behind the thighs. Let the thighs be heavy in your hands, and really just find a little release through your low back, but the engagement on the abdominals, and then bring your arms straight out in front of you. And you're just gonna straighten your right leg, straighten your left leg, rotate the arms to the right, and then to the center. If you need to have your knees bent, this is comfortable, bend them, and switch over to the left and center. Your feet are not moving, one is not sliding in front of the other. This is a nice small rotation. Once more to the right. Center, last one. And then Feel yourself all the way back down, one vertebrae at a time, to the floor. Reach your arms overhead. Take a nice big stretch, reach your fingers and toes away from one another, and then start to float your arms up towards the ceiling. Feel your back connect to the floor, and then once your hands are within your peripheral vision, press down, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up, lift it up the floor, reach long through the legs, and then send the ribs towards the hips on your exhale as you round up your legs. We're going to do 2 more. Round forward, and keep this round as you heel yourself all the way back. Take your feet drag with you as you tuck your pelvis under to put your sacrum on the floor as you round all the way back. Arms lift overhead. If you need that additional full stretch, you can make it here. If not, start to connect your back to the floor. Bring your hands up towards the ceiling. Underneath your vertebrae, curl the head, neck, and shoulders up. Pause. And then exhale, draw the ribs towards the hips. Bring your feet away from you as you round forward. And then again, last one, curl down, round. And then release. Last one, ribs toward your hips. Exhale, hands, feet go away from you. And then just bring your feet in and just gently round forward. Taking a few inhales and exhales here. And then come all the way up, and you're going to come onto all fours again. Take a sip of water first if you need. So just as we did the scapular push-ups before, we're going to come into a modified push-up position. So on your knees, tailbone tucked under, lengthening your spine. We're just going to do 2 or 3 here. So send the shoulders towards your spine and then press up. A little bit more challenging to do it in this position with, the weight more on your shoulders, closer to a full plank. Last one, pause here. Bend your elbows back by your sides as you lower all the way down towards the floor. From here, you're going to lift your hands off the floor next to your shoulders, and then you're going to send your chest looking forward into a nice extension. So, hips and pubic bone are pressing into the floor. You have a little bit of length in the low back. Your back is engaged, lifting the arms up, and then your gaze is gently in front of you. Lower yourself all the way down towards the floor. Press the hands into the floor. Staying in this modified plank position, you're going to press yourself back up to that feeling plank. So, again, slowly lower yourself all the way. Slowly lower yourself all the way down towards the floor. Lift the hands, and then lift the chest, lengthen through the back. Find that extension. Hands come back down towards the floor. Take a nice inhale. Exhale. Press yourself all the way up. If this is too much for you, you're going to come all the way down towards the floor, lower down 1 second at a time. You're going to find that extension. Then you're going to come onto your forearms, into a little plank here, and then come up onto your knees if you need to go from there. Do this at your own pace. We're going to do a total of 10 of them, so we have 7 more. Slowly lowering all the way down. Lift up, find that extension. Pause in the extension. Lower down, hands to the floor. And then press up. And then again, slowly lower down. Trying not to do the worm with your body. So you should lift the hips and the upper body at the same time, rather than letting the hips sort of drag behind you. Play with the positioning of your hands. And lowering all the way down. We have 3 more. 3, 2. Using your exhale on the way up. 2. Last one. We're going to stay all the way down this time in extension. So bring your arms out in front of you. And then let your forehead come to the ground and shake your hips out for a second. And then from here, bring your arms nice and long, and then press your hands into the ground as you float your chest up. And then think about dragging yourself through your arms. From here, you're going to float your legs up. And then you're going to float your right arm up. And your left arm. Bend your elbows here if you need, or bring your hands by your side if this is too much on your low back. Today, I'm going to bend my arms. And then you're going to lower everything all the way down. This time, we're going to lift everything together. So, take a nice big inhale. Exhale, float the arms, the chest, the legs, everything up into the air and hold for 4, 3, 2. Last one, lower everything all the way down. One more time. Everything up. And then you're going to bring your hands underneath your shoulders, lower the legs, press yourself all the way back up into that push-up position. Tuck the toes, find yourself in a nice plank. Reach the crown of the head and heels away from one another. Take a nice big inhale and then exhale. Send your hips up towards the ceiling. Bend your knees as much as you need to take a nice downward dog. Head out. And then find yourself back in that plank. Pause here. And then lift the hips. Find another stretch to the back of your legs. And then coming back forward. Find that plank. Of course, you can do this on your knees. To down dog or knees to child's pose. Your choice. Do 4 more. Going nice and slow. Focusing on all the support you have in your plank. And then the stretch that you have when you come into this down dog. Forward. And back. Last time. Forward. And back. And then send your knees towards the ground. And then come all the way up to a tall kneeling position. You're going to bring your right foot forward. And then staying pretty upright, tuck the tailbone under. And then from here, you can gently send the hips forward, but like only an inch or so. And then nod your chin. And feel that stretch through the psoas through the whole front of your left side. Really keep that tailbone tucked under. And then from here, look straight ahead. And then you can come forward into more of a lunge. Lift your left arm up and just reach it straight towards the ceiling so you have a stretch from the fingertips all the way down to your knee. And then side bend up and over towards the right. And then come all the way down, bring both of your hands to the floor. And then you're just going to reach your right arm up and rotate towards the right. And then lower that arm down. And then press yourself up into that lunge one more time. And then send yourself back, hips towards your butt as you get a nice stretch through your right leg. You can point and flex here. 1 or 2 more times. And then come all the way up tall, and then we're going to switch sides. So left leg comes forward, first that psoas stretch. So tuck the tailbone under, find length through that whole left side, look straight ahead to start, and then just nod your chin. Find length like someone's pulling a ponytail back. Really focus on that tuck under. And then from here, look straight ahead, and then just shift your weight slightly forward again, keeping that tuck of the pelvis, and then reach the arms straight up towards the ceiling. Still breathing here. And then side bend up and over towards the right. And then bring the hands to frame your left foot. Reach the right arm, or whatever, the left arm up towards the ceiling. Take a nice twist here for a second. And then coming back. Shift your weight back over your hips, or your hips rather, back over your back leg, and then you can flex, and you can point and flex, or you can more of a flat back and do this, that's great. Today I definitely don't. And then bring your knee back underneath you. Bring your knees nice and wide, just like we started, and reach the arms in front of you, and then just melt down towards the floor. Notice how you feel. And then just take a big inhale, really feel your ribs expand wide to the side and up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, melt down to the floor. One more breath in.